This video is part 3 of the perk series, and we're going to be taking a look into the boots when it comes to Modern Warfare 3's perks. And we're going to be basically testing all these boots to find out which ones are the best and if there are any that are actually worth using. The first one we have is the lightweight boots, which help with movement speed, swimming speed, and noise while swimming. The noise while swimming we weren't able to test because there's not any maps with water on in this game, so it's kind of hard to actually test that. The other thing, when it comes to swimming speed, again, we can't really test that because there's not really any maps with any water in it at the moment. But when it comes to movement speed, what we did test was the base sprinting speed to see if that was improved with the perk, and what you can see here is me testing before and after with the perk there. What you'll see on screen now is the actual numbers behind this, and what we did, like I said, is test before and after. So with the base sprint speed is 4.31 meters per second, with the boots it's 4.26 meters per second, and that is around about a 25 meter distance run essentially in the game. And basically there's no difference here, so this perk is basically useless. Even if it does help with the swimming and stuff, I feel like that's such a small portion of the game that it's not even worth using for this. So if it did help with the sprint quite a lot, then it probably would have been a really useful perk, but as you can see, it's not really helping at all. So the next one we have is the climbing boots, which reduce fall damage, and they also help with the mantling and climbing speeds. Now on the screen you can see the comparison for fall damage. Basically you take no fall damage whatsoever in game, which is actually pretty good. And the max height in a multiplayer map is basically 13 meters, so this is the only height I can actually test. And as you can see, the before and after is a massive difference there, and it could actually save your life. The next thing is the mantling speeds. Now when it comes to mantling speeds, is basically how we tested this is we jumped over this kind of bin on top of this ledge to do like a double mantle to see how long it would take to actually get to the very top. And then we done it with and without the perk. So we done the test twice, we took an average, and then obviously we could see what the actual timings were to see if it's actually improving the overall mantling speed. Now, having actually did this test over and over again, I've actually came to the conclusion that's basically no difference when it comes to mantling speeds. I don't know if there's any other way to actually test this to see if it is there actually an improvement besides just checking how quick you can actually mantle, because we did check the mantle time and it was 2 seconds before for that specific jump, and it was 2 seconds after with the perk. So basically I got the exact same results, and therefore I don't actually think it's helping. So only half of this perk actually works in my opinion, which is basically the fall damage part. Next up, we have the Stalker boots, which help with ADS movement speed and also strafing speed as well. And obviously that is what you see us calculating on screen. So basically we're strafing across a certain distance, try to calculate the time, and then obviously ADS and moving forward as well. That was the other test that we did, because that's what ADS movement speed technically is a part of. So we wanted to test that as well. We tested 2 different weapons. We tested an assault rifle and an SMG, just to make sure that this is actually working across the board for all different weapons, and also to see how it actually fares with different guns as well. Now we'll jump straight into the numbers with this one because there's quite a few to get through. So as you can see, there's an AR strafe speed for before and after. There's an SMG strafe speed before and after. There's an AR ADS walking forward movement speed before and after, and then also there's an SMG ADS walking forward movement speed as well. And as you can see, when it comes to strafing speeds, basically on average you're getting about 15% improvement on all of your weapons. So that includes ARs and SMGs, and it's probably going to be the case for LMGs and other weapons as well. So the strafing part of this actually does work pretty well from the looks of it. 15% is a decent-ish improvement. It's not a massive improvement, but if you want to boost your movement speed just a little bit more and get good strafes out of your weapon, plus use the attachments on guns as well, then obviously this will help out a lot. And then when it comes to the walking movement speed whilst ADS, it feels like it's not really helping at all, to be honest, because 5% improvement isn't really that big, and that could be within the margin of error anyway, and a 1.2% is basically negligible. So basically when it comes to AR and SMG ADS speeds when walking and aiming, is not an improvement whatsoever there. Next up, we've got the tactical boots, which basically give you the ability to ADS and shoot, which is what we're testing just now. So as you can see, without the boots equipped, you basically get that canted tactical shoot, which is still a good thing to have as base. But when you do switch over to the perk, you then get the ability to fully aim down sight the gun and shoot that way, which is obviously a massive advantage if you are coming up against someone that's doing basically the base version of this. So it is a good advantage to have, but being able to shoot and slide in general in this game now, I think is a massive improvement. Now, the other part of this perk basically allows you to change your elevation a little bit quicker. So if you're trying to go from standing to prone or prone to standing and all that kind of thing, it improves the speed of that. Also, what this is supposed to give you the ability to do is actually have a faster slide as well. Now, we also tested that as well to see if your slide is actually faster when you're using this. And then we also tested slide distance. So I wanted to see if it actually improved the distance of your slide and how far you can slide without obviously having to slide cancel. We'll get straight into the numbers here. When it comes to the slide speed, you are getting an improvement in terms of the actual speed of your slide. There's a 20% improvement, so it's definitely no mistake there. You are getting a buff to the actual speed of your slide, which can be very useful. When it comes to slide distance, again, there's actually an improvement here. So I got around about 5.43 meters on the standard slide base with no perks, but you get around about 6.2 meters. It's not a massive improvement, but 13% is not bad when it comes to slide distance. So you actually do get a bit of a buff to the distance of your slide as well if you don't slide cancel. So that is something you could take note of. Now, when it comes to the next thing that we tested was basically going from a standing position down to prone, then back to standing, and how quick can you do that whole thing in transition. And we done it from before without the perks and then with the perks, and there's pretty much no difference there. 1.7 seconds to 1.6 seconds is basically a 6% improvement. That is basically no difference. Then we also tried a full drop shot. So that is basically if you're going from standing to all the way down to then all the way back up again. And that's while shooting at the same time. And basically, again, there's no difference. So whilst you're drop shotting in game, there's basically no improvement in terms of elevation change. So I'm not really too sure. Again, some of these perks are not really working as intended. The last and final one is the Covert sneakers, and this completely cancels out footstep audio. So that is something you do want to keep in mind. It does actually work as intended in game. Now, if you do want the full details behind this one, Exclusive Ace actually has a video on the channel. I'll leave it linked in the description, where he basically goes over all the footstep audio kind of things inside Modern Warfare 3's multiplayer in general. It's a really good video. I highly recommend checking it out. But if you enjoyed this one, don't forget to subscribe, and thank you very much for watching.